Eddie Redmayne is back as Newt Scamander in Fantastic Beasts: The Secrets of Dumbledore. He teams up with Jude Law's Albus Dumbledore as they attempt to stop Grindelwald's bid for power in both the Wizarding and Muggle world. I'm Ronald Young Jr., and I'm leaving the theater. Check. This is Ronald. Check. This is Ron. This is my car? Yeah, that's my car. Check. This is Ronald. All right. This is Ronald, and I am leaving the theater after seeing Fantastic Beasts: The Secrets of Dumbledore. I don't know if it's The Secret or Secrets. Pretty sure it's The Secrets, because, good Lord, so many secrets. Starring, let me block out that wind. I got you, Thomas. All right. Directed by David Yates. Written by J.K. Rowling and Steve Kloves. Well, I'm going to stand back here where there's less wind. Starring Eddie Redmayne, Jude Law, Ezra Miller, Dan Fogler, Alison Sudol, Sallum Turner, Jessica Williams, Katherine Waterston. That S always throws me off. And Mads Mikkelsen. All right, so Fantastic Beasts. This is the third in the new Fantastic Beasts series in the new Wizarding World of Harry Potter, which is no longer, I guess you could just call it the Wizarding World. It doesn't have to be the Wizarding World of Harry Potter, but just the Wizarding World, because the idea that they're telling new stories set in this new in this universe that's been established with the books of Harry Potter and the movies of Harry Potter, so on and so forth. So the whole idea behind, there really is, I've already explained it. Something I was thinking about when I was watching this movie today is the Wizarding World gets an opportunity that Star Wars didn't get, which was they get to make new stories in the universe they created kind of in the same lifetime of the universe in which it exists. And when I say that, I mean like the original Star Wars were made 30 years ago. You know what I mean? I mean, almost 50 years ago now, if I'm not mistaken. They were made in the 70s. And they didn't make new Star Wars until the late 90s, if not mistaken. They started making the new sequels. And then they made another set of sequels in the, in the last 10, 12 years or so, something like that. So I'm saying that to say, there was a long gap between the first set and the next set after they established this world for them to play in, and then they come back and make these sequels later. What the Wizarding World gets the advantage of is be able to look at everyone's reactions and then to start to begin to tell those new stories as they exist now. Now, Star Wars and Marvel and all of them they're doing that now, and Marvel is able to build out the world and continue to tell stories in it as they go, which is a great advantage because they're kind of leading the way and showing how it's done, which it tells me, I'm saying all that to say what makes me excited about the Wizarding World, which is that I really enjoy stories told in this world. I don't care to follow one character. I wasn't a big Skywalker saga fan in Star Wars, just like I don't care about the Potters. I don't care about Dumbledore. I only care as much as they're characters in this greater world where you can tell other stories, because I want to hear the other stories. I don't necessarily want to keep hearing about one person going on a quest to do whatever over and over again. I don't care about that. And I think learning about the bureaucracy and the politics and all those things, just that build out the world, I think that's way more entertaining to me than just about anything else that they could suggest. So with all of that in mind, I get excited about these movies. I was excited about the first Fantastic Beasts and where to find them. I was excited about the sequel, which I did not care for. And I was excited walking into this one. I'm going to watch all of them as they keep making them. I don't know if there'll be a 4 and a 5. There's some issues with J.K. Rowling's stances on humanity, we should say, and as well as as well as issues going on with Ezra Miller right now. He's having some trouble with the law, which is also messing with his career in the DC Extended Universe as the Flash. So, and also, not to mention, they replaced Mad Mikkelsen they replaced Johnny Depp in this film because he has an ongoing lawsuit with someone, and they replaced him with Mad Mikkelsen as Grindelwald in this movie. Okay, so you have enough exposition. This movie is kind of continuing the story of Newt Scamander, played by Eddie Redmayne, and his adventures to kind of stop Grindelwald from doing what he's doing. He's tag teamed up with Dumbledore as a main character in this one. He was more of a supporting character in the second one, but much more of a main character in this one. And they're going on a journey to stop Grindelwald. Stop him from what? From taking over, from starting war with the Muggles. He's the original Voldemort. He is the original from which the derivative Voldemort comes from. Watching this movie, there's a lot of setup. And one thing that I remember thinking was, sitting down in my seat, I really wish there was a previously on Fantastic Beasts or a rap or something before I walked in, because I want to see this movie, obviously, but maybe I didn't have time to watch Fantastic Beasts 2 before I walked into this one again, and I did not. So when I walked in, I found myself trying to get my bearings. Who is this? Wait, is somebody missing? Who's not there? Wait, who are they talking about? So I felt lost walking into it, but I'm still enchanted by the world. So I think a previously on would be helpful. Give me some background or something. I don't think there's any wrong with us setting that up for movies, especially in the Marvel universe, where it's like, come on, man, like you got to know like 8 movies before you walk into the theater to watch any of that stuff. So, and if you're not like me and you're not rewatching them on your own time, then I don't know how anybody who's just a casual fan that just wants to see the new Marvel movie understands when everyone else in the theater is gasping and you're like, no, wait, who is that? That's Mike who? And that's kind of how I felt walking into this. There's a lot of setup in this movie. It's kind of like a heist film, and there's a lot of setups to what I expect to be payoffs later, and they're not necessarily payoffs. It kind of, in a lot of ways, the way this feels like it's set up when it gets to its big aha moment, we gotcha, it just didn't feel satisfying at all in the build up to it. There was a lot of world building in here that I enjoyed, but again, it didn't really lead anywhere. And there's character development, some that occurs and some that doesn't, meaning that there's one character who seems like he's going to do a double cross, and I didn't really know the motivation for doing it one way or the other. It did not feel like they did a very good job of managing like that character. They gave him a little bit of exposition, but not enough to me to justify whatever action he was going to take next, whether it be positive or negative. So I had an issue with that. And there were times in the movie where they would have magical moments, and I didn't understand what the magic was supposed to be doing. Like, there's this one thing with Dumbledore's scarf that happens late in the movie, and those of you that watch it will know what I'm talking about, and I don't know what that was for. I mean, I was very confused. Then there's one part that kind of sticks with me, and hopefully, if you guys like this movie, let me just go ahead and, if you guys like this movie, I'd like to go ahead and mess it up for you right now. There is a scene early, and actually, if you guys don't want spoilers, whatever's, so, check out right now. You could stop or step away, whatever. But there is a scene in this movie in which an item needs to be replicated. And in the replication of that item, the lady walks up to the place where the item is supposed to be replicated. And she says, hey, I need you to replicate this item. He says, sure, I'll go ahead and do it. And he says, you don't need to look inside of it or anything like that. They said, how you doing? They say, you don't need to look inside of it or anything. Like, we just need to replicate it from the outside. And they said, okay. And she says, I need 6 of them. And they say, okay. Later on in the movie, we see the replicated item. And if you count them, there are 5 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5. Meaning that the replication she asked for, she didn't get 6, because there would have been 6 plus the original item, which makes it 7. Instead, there were only 5, which means either he didn't replicate enough, or they, at some point, whoever made the movie forgot that an astute watcher like me or listener is going to hear that number and be like, okay, 7, that's where this is going. There's going to be 7 of these things. Turns out there's only 5, and there's no twist in it. So I'm sitting there waiting for the twist of there being ooh, surprise, there's 2 more. But nope, there was only 5. So I think it was a genuine mistake made by either, the script cutter or whoever. But there's a math problem at the center of this movie that distracted me for the whole third act of the movie, which kind of took away from it for me. So, and I know some of y'all will be like, Ronald, that's a little nitpicky, and maybe it is, but my thing is, if you're going to put a line in the movie that says, hey, yo, we're doing this thing, and then absolutely not follow through with the thing, for Ronald, that's always going to be an issue. That's why I didn't like the last season of Game of Thrones. I didn't care about most of the stuff that people are arguing about. I was just like, y'all said y'all were going to do this in season 3, and it did not pay off. So you had to pay attention to something for no reason, and not in the red herring way where it doesn't matter. It's meant to be a trick, but more like in just we just decided not to resolve that plot point, or, we didn't care enough about this detail that we put in here. So that was an issue for me. With that being said, it was a fine enough movie. This is a movie that, had it stuck the landing, it probably could have gotten a 3.25, a 3.5. I don't think that there's any 4-star within this movie whatsoever. However, it didn't stick the landing. It wasn't as good as it could have been, especially for it to be basically a movie that comes in with so much goodwill and so many people that are so invested in the Wizarding world. So with that, I give it a 2.5 of 5 stars. I did not like it. I did not like it. But it just didn't stick the landing for me, and there was a lot of problems throughout the rest of it. So 2.5 of 5 stars. And honestly, with that, Leave It at Theater is a production of ohitsBigRon Studios. Theme music by the mysterious Breakmaster Cylinder. To find out more about this show and other ohitsBigRon Studio shows, follow me on Twitter and Instagram at ohitsBigRon. That's at ohitsBigRon. This episode was mixed at Bias Studios by Thomas Tyra. Thank you, Thomas. If you like this show, I host another show from Pineapple Street Studios and HBO called HBO Docs Club. Check that out wherever you listen. Leave It at Theater will be back soon. Thanks for listening.